Today's adventure, we're starting off at Gathland Park and doing a couple out and backs. We're going to first go northbound up to the White Rocks, which is about 3.5 miles. Then back to here, and then from Gathland Park again, we're going to go southbound to one of the shelters, turn around and come back. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, I made my way into the woods. It is about 6:30. Overcast and rainy. And we're in the cloud layer, although not really that high up. You can see how dark it is in here compared to the usual times I go up here. It's been raining in the area for the past few days, so the trail's kind of sloppy. You can see there's lots of big puddles. You stick the trekking pole down, sometimes it hits something solid, other times it sinks like 3 or 4 inches. We're getting closer to the White Rocks overlook. I'm starting to do a bit of a climb to get up to it. And some days the weather on the trail sets your mood, and other days your mood kind of matches the weather on the trail. And that's the way it is for me this week. The company I worked for the past 11 years just laid off about a third to a half of their workforce. I made it through the first round, but there's definitely indications that my time is coming to an end soon. Typical private equity firm acquisition. Move fast, cut staff, cut costs. And a bit depressing. It's a product you worked for years, putting tons of hours and your heart and soul into it. Just getting chopped up processes that were very mature, thrown out the window. Turn to offshore, who doesn't care? But that's the way of the world nowadays. Investors got what they wanted. Low employee ends up getting the shaft. Well, enough of that depressing talk. Let's focus on walking and not slipping, getting up to the top, and enjoying the nice surprises we see along the way. Let's get back to it. And now, last little bit before we come around to the White Rocks overlook. Need to take it slow because everything is slick as snot. That was last year with a lot better view. But we hit point number 1. What do you think, Walnuts? Think it looks good? Well, you've been nice and dry. Maybe we'll have better luck in the second half. Maybe this thick, low cloud layer will start to lessen. Well, let's get something to eat and go on to phase 2. Alright, that was the White Rocks overlook. Now I'm going to start heading southbound again. Get back to Gathland Park, have a little lunch, then head on to part 2 of today's journey. Sometimes the trail is wide open, and other times you gotta just figure it out. This probably fell within the past few days. I'm a big guy, so I have to play Twister to get through this. Ouch, it narrows my head, but I've done that plenty of times. And let's check my backpack cover is still on. All good. Almost up a pole. Okay. Well, that was fun. At least I'm a little bit limber still. Back to our rainy, muddy, peacefully quiet, non-workday adventure. Still raining pretty well. And the trails, it's just a muddy, sloppy stream at this point. Just kind of pick your way through whatever looks semi-solid. I don't mind the rain. I ran a half marathon, and a heavier rainstorm than this. You could think, well, that's pavement. That's true. But those shoes are designed for good ventilation. And so the net result is you still have a shoe filled with water in the end. But the one big differentiator is that there's a lot more people out there running with me in the rain. I've seen one other person today. I guess they're either hunkered down and... Here we are, back at Gathland State Park. Still raining. Pulling up. Should we keep going? Looks like you're shivering a little bit. Thankfully they have this pavilion here. Step in and get a little dried off. That's good. I'm soaked through and through. But at least I could change the batteries. There's some other ruins over there. I don't know what they really are. Maybe on a sunnier day if you had to come back, take a look and see. That's the parking lot that's open 24 hours. Alright, on our wet and wild adventure. Starting on part 2, down to the Ed Garvey Shelter. Going southbound. We're not going down to Waverton Cliffs today, but we're going about halfway. And away we go. Second turnaround point. This is the way. The Ed Garvey Shelter. Well, 11 miles in at the Ed Garvey Shelter. It was great to have a chance to get him a backpack and get a little snack before I finish off the last stretch. This is a classic AT kind of shelter I've been seeing here in Maryland. Anyway, gonna have to get going back out in the rain. Should be fun. Be getting warm soon. interesting ruins over here. That's wrapping up our adventure for today. Coming around to the trailhead. Total distance is 15 miles for the day. And that puts us one step closer to our goal, hiking the entire Maryland AT section by section. Next stop, Waverton Cliffs and the Potomac.